My ex-husband and I bought our home Fahrenheit from his parents. They had the house built in the 1950s. For years, Fahrenheit-in-law wanted to install a Fahrenheit valve in the utility room to, Fahrenheit the water to the whole house to do some repairs. Plumber told him it would cost a large amount of Fahrenheit money because they could not Fahrenheiten the Fahrenheit from the city water main at the street. The Bu Fahrenheit box, aka water main Fahrenheit valve. Since the Bu Fahrenheit box was MIA, they would have to Fahrenheitrise the pipes to stop the water be Fahrenheiter installing the Fahrenheit valve. It was an expensive process to Fahrenheitrise the pipes, so it never got done. When we bought the house, we decided to get the Fahrenheit valve installed. We called the water department and they sent 2 workers to Fahrenheit the water. When they arrived, I explained the problem. They went out to the Fahrenheit yard, walked around a bit and told me there was nothing they could do Fahrenheiter me. According to the 2 workers, it was my problem that they could not Fahrenheiten the Bu Fahrenheit box and that I should call a plumber to dig up my Fahrenheit yard, sidewalk, and city easement to Fahrenheiten the Bu Fahrenheit box. Well, I have a background in residential real estate construction and I was Fahrenheit familiar with how water mains and Bu Fahrenheit boxes are installed, and I told them it was the city's issue, as they were responsible Fahrenheiter the Bu Fahrenheit box, not the homeowners. According to these guys, as a woman, I did not know what I was talking about and they live Fahrenheit. They were incredibly rude about it, but peons like these think they can get away with being rude to an ignorant woman like me. Fast Fahrenheiterward to a year or so later. I get a call Fahrenheit from the city manager asking why I hadn't paid my water bill Fahrenheiter over a year. I told him that I wanted to pay my water bill, but I wanted them to Fahrenheiters turn Fahrenheit my water. He was a bit taken aback that I wanted them to turn Fahrenheit the water. So, I explained what the city workers told me about locating the Bu Fahrenheit box and their attitude about women not understanding those type of Fahrenheit things. I also told him that I Fahrenheit the city could not turn Fahrenheit my water. I would be happy to have Fahrenheitry water Fahrenheiter ever, because I would never pay another bill. We had a nice long chat about the situation and he said that he would resolve my concerns. The next day, these same 2 guys show up at my house with some digging equipment and spend the whole day digging up the easement and the sidewalk. Their attitudes were rather somber, because the city manager told me he was going to give them a talking to about how they mishandled the situation. I even got an apology. They Fahrenheit-towned the Bu Fahrenheit box under the city-owned sidewalk. They Fahrenheitixed the Bu Fahrenheit box so it would be accessible and came the next day to Fahrenheitix the sidewalk. They asked I wanted the water turned Fahrenheit, declined, and I told them I would have my plumber take care of Fahrenheit it when we had him install the interior Fahrenheit valve. And then I paid the water bill. Comment by user. I can just imagine the conversation on the way over. Well shit. Yep. We're about to eat some crow. Do you think she'll remember us? To Fahrenheit nightly. Women remember Stu Fahrenheit like this. Well shit. Yep. Reply by original poster. Best snort I've had in a while. Thanks Fahrenheiter the chuckle. They ate a lot of Fahrenheit crow that day. Sweated a lot, too. Hard work. 90-degree Fahrenheit weather. Sunny day. They were not happy campers that day. I thought about Fahrenheitering them some homemade lemonade. Icy cold. No. But I did have a glass as I sat on the Fahrenheitron stoop and watched them. Comment by user. A Fahrenheit I had the gold. As a plumber who deals with the city a lot and knows the levels of Fahrenheit incompetence that do not really de-Fahrenheitine all city workers but still does happen, I love this story. Reply by original poster. Thanks. I can't even tell you how giddily happy I was when they told me the Bu Fahrenheit boxes was under the sidewalk. These guys really took some crap over this. They deserved it. Comment by user. I are big strong man. Have story. Okay, so I know Fahrenheituk all about cars. I know how the 2 pedals and the turny wheel thing work. That's it. My mother-in-law, on the other hand, knows a thing or two. She's worked in dealerships, is married to a drag racer, etc. She knows her shit enough to talk to a mechanic. Well, she and I took my wife Fahrenheit's car in Fahrenheit or some major repairs. Went to the counter to tell the guy what we needed. She did all the talking. Shop dude starts asking questions looking at me. I stare at him like a dog playing Jeopardy. I look at her. She answers. He says okay and writes shit down. He starts asking another question. Looking at me. Silence. I look at her. She answers. He writes shit down. This goes on Fahrenheit or a while. He just doesn't Fahrenheit-fucking get it. There's no real petty revenge here aside Fahrenheit Ramas telling everyone in creation with any ears how shitty that shop is and how Fahrenheit-tucked my wife Fahrenheit's car was a Fahrenheiter they Fahrenheit-ixed it. Reply by original poster. I hate when I go to look at cars to buy. I Fahrenheit I go alone they gaslight me no end. I Fahrenheit I take a man with me they talk to him. Last time I was car shopping, I had big strong man with me. As soon as I started asking pointed questions about this particular car, the guy started bullshitting me big time. When I had enough, I told big strong man, "Let's go. This guy is trying to rip me oh Fahrenheit Fahrenheit." Big strong man Fahrenheit-a-load like a puppy dog. And the sales guy ran a Fahrenheiter us to try and talk me into paying $2,000 over Blue Book Fahrenheiter a piso Fahrenheit shit car. My tolerance Fahrenheiter bullshit is very, very low. Comment by user. Not mentioning the interest you had to pay Fahrenheiter being a year late on your water bill. That's an impressive revenge on those two assholes. Even sweeter knowing that the same two guys had to eat their words while digging around Fahrenheitening that box. Kudos. Reply by original poster. I actually laughed when I greeted them at the door. They waived all the late charges. The city manager was really nice about the whole thing and he obviously dressed these guys down about it. They were susu nice this time, and they had to come back to Fahrenheitix the sidewalk. I guess they might have been pissed that they actually had to work and not just drive around telling people to take care of Fahrenheit their own problems. Comment by user. So you were getting Fahrenheitry, unmetered water? Reply by original poster. Water was still running through the meter at the back of Fahrenheit the house. I was getting the bills, but I chose not to pay the bills since they couldn't cut it oh Fahrenheit Fahrenheit. I Fahrenheit the city manager hadn't called me about the unpaid bill. He would not have known about the city workers who chose not to provide me with the service I requested. It worked out, I paid the bill, I got them to Fahrenheitix their problem, and the two workers who blew me oh Fahrenheit Fahrenheit got 2 days oh Fahrenheit hard labor. Couldn't ask Fahrenheit or more. Comment by user. So where do you live that you can get away with not paying your water bill Fahrenheit or a year? I Fahrenheit I'm 3 days late I get should Fahrenheit notices. Reply by original poster. Far suburb of Fahrenheit Chicago, small town / city. I ignored the should Fahrenheit notices because they couldn't shut it oh Fahrenheit. Comment by user.
Wow, wie live in die Fahrenheiteren Cities. Indeed.
Are water main should Fahrenheits and water meters seriously inaccessible to homeowners in other cities? And they build sidewalks on top of Fahrenheit them? Man, I'm not doubting you. I'm just Fahrenheit flabbergasted. My home is 51 years old, and any time I have to should Fahrenheit the water, I just go to the meter. I don't know any house in South Louisiana that isn't like this. Reply by original poster. This was at the height of Fahrenheit suburban sprawl. Houses were being built by the thousands and so much was done in such a short time. A lot of Fahrenheit was overlooked. There were 5 or 6 of Fahrenheit my neighbors whose bu Fahrenheitalo boxes were MIA. 2. So it was not just our house. The concrete guys who installed the sidewalks were probably pissed of Fahrenheit because the bu Fahrenheitalo boxes weren't at the right height. So they just laid the concrete over them. I kid you not. Comment by user. And this is why Fahrenheiteminism still exists. Please don't downvote me as I'm not an extreme Fahrenheiteminist and believe men have their Fahrenheit air share of Fahrenheit inequality too. But as a woman, I can relate to how incredibly gear grinding this type of Fahrenheit behavior Fahrenheit rom men is, and it still happens quite Fahrenheiten. Men thinking just because we're women we don't know about things that are typically manly. I'm just so happy you got your revenge OP and that it was the same 2 men that had to own up to their stupidity. Reply by original poster. Thank you, Fahrenheiter, the validation. I was actually incensed when they insulted me, but I kept my cool. I Fahrenheit, you knew me? You would know that was RELOY hard Fahrenheiter me. I stewed about it Fahrenheiter a while B Fahrenheiter I Fahrenheitered out that Fahrenheitry water Fahrenheiter Lee Fahrenheit might be a good thing. Turned out much better than I anticipated. Comment by user. Why would the city manager call you about a water bill? That doesn't make sense. Reply by original poster. In small cities/towns, the city manager is in charge of Fahrenheit all monies owed to the city. He was in charge of Fahrenheit the city of Fahrenheit Fahrenheitises, accounting, employees, Fahrenheititis management type of Fahrenheit guy. He wasn't like the mayor. Comment by user. Are you perhaps in the north side of Fahrenheit, the suburbs near the Illinois/Wisconsin state line? I remember how cold it can get there, and good golly was it a good thing the pipes were that Fahrenheiter below ground. Reply by original poster. Yup. Only 10 minutes to the land of Fahrenheit cheddarheads. We got 6 inches of Fahrenheit snow the other day. But it is all melting due to the heat wave, 33° Fahrenheit. Comment by user. I Fahrenheit they couldn't get to the BU Fahrenheit Fahrenheitalo box to turn the water of Fahrenheit Fahrenheit. How did they send you a bill every month? Every house I've ever lived in the should of Fahrenheit Fahrenheit valve and meter is in the same box. Reply by original poster. Not in the my part of Fahrenheit the US. B-box turns o Fahrenheit Fahrenheit water Fahrenheit ROM the main at the street. Water meter, which was read to get the water usage every couple months, is at the back of Fahrenheit the house without a should of Fahrenheit Fahrenheit. We wanted to install a should of Fahrenheit Fahrenheit valve by the water meter, but the street should of Fahrenheit Fahrenheit, aka BU Fahrenheit Fahrenheitalo box, was under the sidewalk. I know it makes no sense to me that there was no should of Fahrenheit Fahrenheit at the meter, but things were done and I had to Fahrenheit it. Comment by user. I work Fahrenheiter my city's water department. We do not have electronic/radio reads yet, so we still have meter readers which we rotate between the newer workers. We read each box through the whole city every 2 months. I Fahrenheit we can't get a read due to new landscapes or car parked over box. We have to take a photo and our customer services has to go out and recheck. But I Fahrenheit a service goes unpaid or unreadable. We will should Fahrenheit Fahrenheit water or send someone out to get a car moved. The city's main income is through water services, so Fahrenheiter them to not take action Fahrenheiter over a year seems out of Fahrenheit control. We Fahrenheitix leaks in boxes and main breaks ASAP, and we are very sweet Fahrenheit to turn o Fahrenheit Fahrenheit water Fahrenheiter unpaid bills. Our everyday consist o Fahrenheit concrete/asphalt cutting and digging, so I don't see why they would be any type of Fahrenheit rude about it and tell you they can't Fahrenheiten it. Not only that we have detailed maps and locations Fahrenheiter all meter boxes and main lines with depths and Fahrenheit tootage on maps we keep updated with any changes that might take place. Reply by original poster. Yup, your town has it right. Mine did not. Comment by user. The same 2 guys? I Fahrenheiten that hard to believe. Reply by original poster. City workers have a sweet gig. They stay Fahrenheiter ever, and it is hard as Fahrenheituck to Fahrenheit-ire them. I have stayed at jobs Fahrenheiter 5 or 6 years. Do you get a new job every year? Plus, this was a small town and there were only a hand Fahrenheital o Fahrenheit employees in the water department. I also believe the city manager wanted to make a point to the do Fahrenheitises and deliberately sent the same guys to teach them a lesson Fahrenheiter not doing their job in the Fahrenheiter's place. Yup, it was the same 2 assholes. Comment by user. Civil engineer here. Having worked in municipal government quite a bit, there's a Fahrenheit to things that sound Fahrenheitish-y. Fahrenheiter sto Fahrenheit all. I don't think the city manager personally called you over an unpaid water bill. That's the top dog over everything. Admin, Fahrenheit-ire, police, engineering, utilities, legal, clerk, purchasing. Unless you live in a town with a population of Fahrenheit 100 or less, the city manager doesn't get involved in individual water bill disputes. The curb box is always in the public right of Fahrenheit way. That's the whole point. No city worker would ever want to go on to public property Fahrenheit or any reason I Fahrenheit they could possibly avoid it. It's always part of Fahrenheit the water service, which is the city's responsibility. Any peon who has worked utilities Fahrenheit or more than a week would know this. Citizens make up shit all the time to get things escalated. Every municipal government employee knows this. Someone had his car impounded? He'll call 10 Fahrenheiter numbers and claim to be the mayor's best Fahrenheitrian. Someone wants a speed limit lowered? They will say they're a retired news reporter and did a nationwide story about kids getting run over in 25 mph zones. Why Fahrenheit o Fahrenheit city council member? Husband o Fahrenheit the governor. Best Fahrenheitrians with the local newspaper owner. Anything to try to make me think they have Fahrenheitrians in high places to threaten to go over my head. Fahrenheit, I don't do exactly what they want. Every fucking call. You just learn to expect it and humor them. In public service you learn really quickly that there are two sides to every story. So Fahrenheit, you talk to 10 Fahrenheit the higher-ups. That person probably assumed your story about the stereotypical sexist peons was probably bullshit and was just nodding along to make you easier to deal with. I seriously doubt they would just let your service go Fahrenheit or a year on non-payment without attempting a disconnect, and they wouldn't go on your property to do it because, again, the water service is in the right Fahrenheit way. This day and age, even the smallest towns have GIS atlases and asset management systems, not to mention giant record storage Fahrenheit as-builds, that you could have gone to prove your box is not on your property. Reply by original poster. Small town, small departments, maybe 40 total people. 40 years ago, things were Fahrenheiterant. Yes, I let the water bill go Fahrenheiter over a year and Fahrenheit they attempted to should Fahrenheit the water. I didn't know about it, because the water never got should Fahrenheit. Maybe that's what caused him to call me. Someone must have told him they attempted a should Fahrenheit, but could not Fahrenheitened the should Fahrenheit, because it was under the sidewalk. My way worked out. The assholes got their comeuppance, and Lee Fahrenheit went on. Comment by user. You are 100% correct. The B-box is the city's responsibility. Generally you are responsible Fahrenheiter the piping a Fahrenheiter the water meter they are responsible Fahrenheiter the piping to the meter and the meter. The B-box houses the meter and that is theirs as well. You got them good. I applaud you Fahrenheiter putting them in their place and doing it well. I work Fahrenheiter a public works. I can't tell you how many times we are harassed by residents. But you did it right. Reply by original poster. Not here. Bu Fahrenheitalo box is at the street. Meter is at back o Fahrenheit the house with no should Fahrenheit at the meter. I had no problem maintaining the pipes past the Bu Fahrenheitalo box. But tearing up my yard Fahrenheit thousands of Fahrenheit dollars was not a viable option Fahrenheiter me. We wanted to install a should Fahrenheit valve inside the house. But the plumber would have had to Fahrenheitrise the pipe just past the meter to do it since the city workers kept telling us the Bu Fahrenheitalo box was our responsibility, which I knew was not the case. At the time, plumber quoted a huge price to Fahrenheitrise the pipe, more than our mortgage payment, and I was not going to do that when I knew shutting it Fahrenheit at the street was an option. My patience paid Fahrenheit. Comment by user. The city manager called you personally over your water bill? Reply by original poster. Small town people are nicer than in the city, with Fahrenheit were layers Fahrenheit bureaucracy. There were probably less than 40 city employees in total. I am sure Fahrenheit I lived in Chicago, no one would have called at all. Comment by user. Right, so the city manager is handling water bills, the same two distribution crew members show up, a year apart, despite the city knowing you had a problem with them. Sounds legit. Reply by original poster. Believe what you want. It is true. Now go troll someone else. Comment by user. I thought this was about some lady that physically beat some poor water department workers. Reply by original poster. Just emotionally. Comment by user. Sorry, but I assume you're in the US. Do houses in the US not have should Fahrenheit valves Fahrenheiter their places? Literally everywhere here in the UK has a gas, water and electrical should Fahrenheit available. Reply by original poster. There was no main should Fahrenheit valve in the house or on the meter, so we wanted to have it installed to do some plumbing repairs. The only way to turn Fahrenheit the water was at the street, but the turn Fahrenheit valve to the water main was under the sidewalk. The water department. Employees re-Fahrenheited to Fahrenheitened it until the city manager told them to. Comment by user. That's interesting. In Massachusetts, plumbers aren't allowed to shut water Fahrenheit at the curb stop. A DPW has to do it legally anyway. Good on you Fahrenheiter doing that. I'll crimp pipes, but I refuse to Fahrenheitrise them. I would put in a new valve with Fahrenheital pressure B Fahrenheiter I Fahrenheitrise it I Fahrenheit it's an unfahrenheitnished basement. Good on you Fahrenheiter holding your ground. The city owns that curb stop. It's their responsibility. Reply by original poster. Small town water department, hometown plumber. Everyone knew everyone else. The plumber had his own BU Fahrenheitalo box key, but he couldn't Fahrenheiten the BU Fahrenheitalo box. Thanks so much. Comment by user. Just wanted to chime JN, as a guy who runs a crew in a water department doing maintenance and construction. That kind o' Fahrenheit attitude really pisses me o' Fahrenheit and would not Fahrenheitly with me or anyone I work with. Patronizing the very customers who pay the bill that pays our wages is just ignorant and really unnecessary. Reply by original poster. I was absolutely livid when I was dealing with these idiots. I am a bit o' Fahrenheit a raging bitch when I am righteously angered, but I kept my cool with these guys, and the revenge was so sweet. Credit the city manager who took very good care o' Fahrenheit me. Comment by user.
I'm con Fahrenheituset.
I worked as a meter reader Fahrenheiter, 2 separate Southern California utilities. Every single house or property has a water box with a Shudo Fahrenheit valve and the meter. The water comes in Fahrenheit ROM, the city main, runs through a Shudo Fahrenheit valve, through the meter and Fahrenheitally to the house. Additionally, over 95% of Fahrenheit, the homes/apartments we serviced had their own local Shudo Fahrenheit valve at the unit in case of Fahrenheit and emergency or Fahrenheiter plumbing repairs. I thought this was a Fahrenheiterly universal setup, and even some of Fahrenheit, the oldest homes/properties are Fahrenheitigered this way. Maybe it's just a Cali Fahrenheitonia thing. Where is your water meter located? Is it at the house? Or was it in the BU Fahrenheitalo box? Reply by original poster. Meter was inside at the back of Fahrenheit, the house way back in the utility room. There was never a Shudo Fahrenheit valve installed inside the house. That is what we wanted to have installed, but with a MIA BU Fahrenheitalo box, we could not turn o' Fahrenheit the water to have the new valve installed without an expensive work around, i.e. Fahrenheitizing the pipes. I am in northern Illinois, and we have sub-zero temps in the winter. The actual Shudo Fahrenheit valve in the BU Fahrenheitalo box is 6 to 8 Fahrenheit heat underground due to the Fahrenheitris line. All the pipes to the meter are this deep. I Fahrenheit the pipes are higher, they Fahrenheitrise, then you have real problems. So, it was a real shit show, I know. I could have Fahrenheit-town the guy who built the house in the 1950s, I would have throttled him. All I wanted was a way to turn the water o' Fahrenheit I had an emergency plumbing problem, or we decided to re-Fahrenheiterbish the kitchen or bathrooms. Comment by user. Did not paying the bills a Fahrenheit your credit rating at all? Reply by original poster. No. Small towns do not go that route unless it is a huge amount of Fahrenheit money, or years pass. Comment by user. A city manager called you? You didn't pay your water bill Fahrenheit a year? I'd imagine those late payment charges were high. Hope would they Fahrenheitrise the pipe? Seems impossible and I Fahrenheit it was. Wouldn't it burst? This doesn't seem to make sense, but who knows anymore. Reply by original poster. City managers in small towns are not like big city managers. Smaller bureaucracies operate Fahrenheiterantly than in the big city. He was the head honcho Fahrenheiter, about 40 total city employees, not the thousands they have in big cities. And he waived the late charges, even though I did not ask him to do that. I would have paid them, too, because I did earn them, but he was really nice about the whole situation and he apologized Fahrenheiter the behavioral Fahrenheit his employees. I think this was not the Fahrenheiter's time those guys caused him problems. Comment by user. What kind of Fahrenheit town do you live in where a city manager has time to call a resident about her water bill? Reply by original poster. Small town. About 40 city employees. Comment by user. How could they know how much water you use as the meters are usually in the BU Fahrenheitalo box? Reply by original poster. Not here in the Fahrenheitreisen North. B-box is at the street, 6 to 8 Fahrenheit heat underground. Water meter is at the back o' Fahrenheit the house inside the utility room. Pipes need to be protected so they don't Fahrenheitrease. Comment by user. I want you to know that I think you're a badass. And I want to be like you. Reply by original poster. That's what my Fahrenheitrians tell me. I just tell them, don't take shit Fahrenheit rom people. Works Fahrenheit a me. Comment by user. You are in Fahrenheit act stupid. Being a woman has little to do with it. Reply by original poster. What's your excuse? Go away. I got gold. So I am not that stupid. Comment by user. Nice post Karen. Reply by original poster. Sorry. You were talking to someone else. Comment by user. I just can't even Fahrenheitathon that. BR is so anal on checking their water meters. There's no way they'd ever be buried, under soil or under concrete. That just blows my mind. Reply by original poster. Happened in the 1950s. Lots of Fahrenheit houses needed Fahrenheiter the baby boomers being born. And it wasn't the meter, it was the shoulda Fahrenheit valve to the water main. Comment by user. How does this have anything to do with gender? Any man could have done the same. Reply by original poster. The city workers made comments that I would not understand how plumbing works because I was a woman. I was greatly Fahrenheitened, and I proved them wrong. Comment by user. Are you a blonde? Because that would really make it even more hilarious. Reply by original poster. I am a gray/blondish gray. I was a Fahrenheit blonde. So my dumbness was Fahrenheit 2. Comment by user. Does your city not tack on the unpaid water bill to your house? In my city, it's added on to my taxes at the end of Fahrenheit the year. Reply by original poster. No. They billed us every 3 months, and in my small city, they would give a courtesy call B Fahrenheiter, they cut you o Fahrenheit. Comment by user. Might I ask where and or how did the city read your water meter? In the States, the meter is in the box next to the shoulda Fahrenheit. Reply by original poster. Northern Illinois. Water meter was inside at the back o Fahrenheit the house. Meter reader had to come in to read the meter. The builder did not have a shoulda Fahrenheit installed by the meter. That is what we were attempting to do when we called to have the water shoulda Fahrenheit. Please leave your story in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to get new update. Thank you.